Thanks to EA for sponsoring this video. Battlefield 2042 has entered its 6th season here as Update 6.0 dropped this morning, bringing along with it Season 6 Dark Creations and a handful of new content. Today I wanted to jump in and share what's new, how it feels, and let you know that for a limited time, Battlefield 2042 is going to be free to play from October 12th to the 16th. So if you want to jump in and check it out for the very first time, if you don't own it already, now's the best time to do so. But as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of the update here itself? Have you checked it out? Will you check it out? And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and stay updated with all things FPS content related. I'd love to have in the community. For now, let's jump into it. So probably the biggest part here out of the Season 6 update for Battlefield is, of course, the brand new map. Yes, we have new weapons, new battle pass, and other stuff like that, but the big marquee item is the new map of Redacted, an infantry-only map inspired by Operation Metro and Operation Locker of games in the past. It's incredibly close quarters, incredibly hectic, and it's the first map set entirely indoors, which is kind of cool here whenever you think about the scale of where Battlefield has gone in the past. Now, you can end up playing it with upwards of 128 players in Portal, but it is half that in normal modes. But it's set in an underground subterranean environment with biodomes, laboratories, and more, and it fits the real-world seasonal aesthetic too. It's like a futuristic and high-tech building, but it's also got that narrative behind it with some darker testing going on beyond just the prosthetics they end up producing, but it's got that like spooky feel to it, which is definitely nice for the Halloween season here in real life, which, as we'll touch on also in a second, plays nicely into what we'll see coming later in the season as well. But that's the map of Redacted. You also end up having a handful of other things introduced with this update as well. Firstly, the new weapons are the next thing I want to touch on, where you have the VHX D3, the L9CZ, and the G428. Now, the VHX D3 is a new, unique, and futuristic assault rifle that favors more portability and performance, and it's a solid choice for close to medium range combat. So that's one that's pretty fun to play around with. The L9CZ is a semi-auto sidearm that's fairly accurate and favored in those close quarter situations, but the G428 is a new DMR it's kind of busted. Outwards of some longer ranges, it's a two-shot kill that, while it's defaulted to semi-auto, it's able to be put into and used in full auto, so it just goes scorched earth on enemies if you go up against them. It's incredibly powerful and one that you'll want to play around with and check out before any balancing is done to it. Whether or not that's something that comes sooner rather than later, we'll have to wait and see, but for right now, it's pretty powerful, so check that one out. Of course, alongside all of that, then, we additionally have the new Battle Pass, which is a new 100 tiers of rewards, some free, some premium, just like all Battle Passes in the past, but there are some pretty cool skins, some pretty cool weapons in there. Not gonna lie, the Tier 98 and Tier 100 Peak Performance Specialist sets, that futuristic hazmat-style cleaner outfit from the trailers and what we saw showcased in all the marketing, those Specialist sets are just killer. I love that. I don't know that I've really grinded out a Battle Pass just yet in 2042. Season 5, I did a decent bit, but didn't make it all the way down. But this time, honestly, I might have to, just because I love the look of those uniforms. But again, along the way, you get all kinds of different uniforms, different skins for weapons, and all kinds of different smaller things here alongside that. So play that out how you feel. We have the new vehicle of the Pond Hawk, which is a two-person transport featuring flight capabilities, allowing you and your buddies to avoid that traffic and just go above everything else to get to point A to point B. Ammo and medical pouches have been added in with Season 6 as well, something coming back from prior games where you can support your squad by just simply throwing ammo or meds at them, which is definitely a nice little bonus here, I think. Now, beyond some quality of life changes, which we'll touch on in a second, the overall feel of this, honestly, it felt really fun to play. I jump back into Battlefield every so often, and every time it's a nice change up to go back to that fluid gameplay loop, but also end up just having the absolute chaos of the player numbers that Battlefield offers. Playing on Redacted, I really did enjoy it. It's infantry only, which is something that has been one of my favorites since jumping back in the last 2 or 3 seasons a lot more, and I get that that's kind of taboo with the Battlefield space. I mean, vehicles and all are quintessential Battlefield, I know that, but getting back into more FPS on mouse and keys here the last couple of months, it's been a fun kind of like training exercise to get back into that flick and accuracy and not having to worry about being just absolutely demolished by a tank. That's just me personally. But infantry only was fun. Redacted as a map, I thought was pretty fun. I love the chaos of that. It truly feels like an absolute tug-of-war map. It's tight and narrow, like 3 to 4 lanes of advancing or defensive pushes, depending on what team you're on. And it's just that all-out action that feels really good, I think, to play on, but also, again, kind of quintessential Battlefield. You have that all-out action, that all-out chaos and combat, but in a much more confined and densely packed gameplay space. Enough power fire positions that you can absolutely hold your own, but enough opportunity to flank and get behind enemies that it's a nice pace of play to kind of reset in that aspect, if that makes sense. Also, you can jump on the zip lines and the sub levels to make those quick flanks that may or may not be getting camped out, but oftentimes I feel like most of the action from my games has been above, not below, so it's not a bad play sometimes. But that said, that's Season 6 and everything on offer, but again, it is a free-to-play weekend here upcoming. From the 12th to the 16th, I said it with Season 5, I really do think that this game has made some exceptional strides forward since its launch. So if you guys want to check it out, I highly recommend jumping on and playing a couple of games here, downloading it, and trying it out for yourself. I do find Battlefield 2042 to be a lot of fun to play when I decided to switch things up and jump back on here in my spare time. With the Season 6 update, to me it felt incredibly fluid, and of course, who doesn't love free? I mean, it's free, you have nothing to lose here if you want to jump on and try it out. You can experience that Season 6 content, maybe you love it, maybe you don't, and worst case scenario, you spend a couple of hours playing a game that you got to experience something new on. Not to mention, even just going beyond the Season 6 content, what you can play in the free access includes over 15 maps, 100 weapons, 40 plus vehicles, 13 specialists, and a whole ton of other stuff here that the base game offers that you can just experience for yourself. So make sure to check that out if you guys are at all interested. But beyond that, what's still upcoming with Season 6 is a new seasonal Halloween event. It seems like that was teased at the end of the trailer for Season 6, but no real details have been given beyond that. The roadmap hints at a new experience and a timed limited event. I mean, we've seen timed limited events happen with the recent seasons as well, but this, I'm kind of wondering if it is something that is a little bit more thematic to that Halloween experience. People were theorizing that it's some sort of zombie style mode, but we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. Now, the final thing to really mention here before we wrap up our full coverage on Season 6 is, of course, that there were some more quality of life changes introduced to the game. There were aim assist improvements for console players in order to improve crossplay fairness. Vehicle handling improvements included the improving to the driver play experience by tweaking tank turning and vehicle speed, gravity adjustments for land vehicles in air, jet handling improvements. There was a recon balancing for the rework of the hacking tool so that it no longer blocks firing on vehicles, and it will now trigger all damage states on targeted vehicles. There are adjustments to the EMP grenade to match the new hacking behavior, and a few other things that are of note as well. But that is Season 6 here for Battlefield 2042 and everything that it brought along. I'm going to be jumping back in here and playing. Now that there's some downtime here, going to be jumping in and playing this absolutely a ton here the next couple of days. And one final reminder, again, free-to-play weekend upcoming here from the 12th to the 16th. Check that out. Link down below if you guys want to learn more about how to get in on that action. Really enjoying Season 6 so far, so if you guys want to check it out, feel free to. But that said, that is going to wrap it up. That's everything Season 6 brought along and what you can expect. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of Season 6 here within Battlefield 2042? Do you like the look of it? You're going to jump in for yourself? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay updated with all things FPS content. We'll keep you up to date with everything you need to know here. We got a busy next couple of months here, so I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.